All right. So we got through our first steps with Jacob and Esau. Jacob was the model citizen, right? As a baby. Even as a baby, right? We talked about the significance of him grabbing the heel, and then also there was the dynamic of Genesis chapter 3 of striking the heel. And as I was thinking about that this week, for one, we had the serpent who was striking the heel, but we also had the picture of Adam and Eve, right, taking and grabbing what looked right. And in one basic statement here in Genesis 25, we saw that Jacob was taking on both of those roles, right? He was taking on the role of the serpent, the striking, and this is just a baby, right? This is foreshadowing. But there's that, but there's also that role of him grabbing and whatever looks good to him, right, is taken and grabbed. And we kind of see those lines between the good guys and the bad guys being blurred. We've seen that all the way up to up to this point. And right, they were blessed to be a blessing, but sometimes that didn't always happen, did it? But then there was barrenness, and now there's life, and it was all by Isaac's prayer. And that was where we ended last week. Was it all this that's meant for bad, right? And how Jesus took it on, all the sin, right? It was God's Aikido move. He took everything that was meant for ill and manipulation and deception, and he turned around and he used it for good. So that's where we're gonna pick up this week, and let's go to the next passage in Genesis 25. We get like this jump scene where we go like, hey, they're babies, now they're young men. So that's where we're gonna start this morning. So I'm gonna read Genesis 25, 27 to 34.
The boys grew up, and Esau became a skillful hunter, a man of the open country, while Jacob was content to stay at home among the tents. Isaac, who had a taste for wild game, loved Esau, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Once, when Jacob was cooking some stew, Esau came in from the open country famished. How far am I going?
All the way to the end of the chapter.
Okay. He said to Jacob, quick, let me have some of that red stew. I'm famished. That is why he was called Edom. Jacob replied, first sell me your birthright. Look, I am about to die, Esau said. What good is the birthright to me? But Jacob said, swear to me first. So he swore an oath to him, selling his birthright to Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau some bread and some lentil stew. He ate and drank and then got up and left. So Esau despised his birthright.
All right, so we got this time jump. The boys grew up. Think it's been a perfect childhood growing up here? No? What gives us that clue?
Mama's boy and dad's.
Okay. So we see some tensions even in the family. So rival brothers, but also we see a little bit of rivalry with the parents, right? What could possibly go wrong there? All right. Esau, what do we know about him? Outdoorsman. He's a manly man, isn't he? Oh, he's good. Yeah. What else? Mm-hmm. All right. So we've only been introduced to one hunter so far. So our mind should be engaging here. Who's the hunter? Nimrod. Good guy, bad guy? Mostly bad, right? That's the founder of Babylon and Assyria, and basically all the centers that have come to recognize taking for yourself and doing for yourself and doing whatever's right. So our mind should be making some connections here. And Nimrod was the Gibborim, right? He was the man of reputation, the man of that people know before he even gets there. His reputation precedes him, right? The proud. These are the giants. These are the this is the Goliaths in who's the Gilgamesh. These are your powerful. These are the dudes, right? The dudes that everyone knows, and so Esau, we're automatically keyed in here that he is, has some similar traits here, and then we're told about Isaac. Jacob was what's some of your mine has content. Any other translations here? Content. Quiet. Okay, that's different. Anyone says peaceful? Peaceful is another common translation. The word there is actually used of wholeness. It says Isaac was a man of wholeness, a dweller of tents. Huh? Yeah, that's what I said. I don't know what you heard, but Jacob was a man of wholeness, right? A dweller of tents.
Devil was pulling our foot.
Yeah, right. This word content is the Hebrew word tam, and it means whole or wholesome, having integrity or morally pure. We'll get back to that. So we're given these contrasts between these two boys, right? This skillful hunter, the animal slayer, and the morally pure. I can't even say that without smiling. A man of wholeness. So the story's already kind of setting us up for how these boys are going to interact. The man of the fields, the man of the tents, right? The man who goes out, and the one who stays home. And the boys aren't the only one being contrasted here, right? Who else? Parents. How so?
Yeah, likes wild games, so he sort of favors Esau.
Okay.
Okay, and make privilege.
There you go. There you go. All right. Right. Yeah. Was it the son that Isaac loved? Was it that he loved Esau? Is that how it's painted for us? No. What is it? It's what he could do for him, right? It wasn't this inherent love, at least how it's related to us, like just this familial bond, this fatherly bond that he had with Esau more than Jacob. It's interesting. It's just because of what Esau could do. It's how he made his life better, or how he met his desires. The literal Hebrew translation here would be because hunted game was in my mouth, in his mouth. He loved Esau because hunted game was in his mouth. I love that. Just put some meat in my mouth and I'm a happy man, right? I feel that.
Kind of like he's a man's man.
He's a man's man, right? Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Like, that's my boy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very well could be. Right. Right. Very well could be. There's these dynamics at play here. We're not given a lot, so we're making some inferences here on, how these family dynamics are, but I think some of this stuff is pretty clear on what's happening. Yeah, I love this boy because he puts meat in my mouth. Right? Can we think of back to a father who has a tender spot in his heart for the firstborn son, even when that firstborn son wasn't the chosen one? Abraham, right? Abraham. He loved Ishmael, didn't he? He even pleaded for God. God, why not this boy? This is how things are supposed to work. And what did God tell him?
I have a plan for him.
I have a plan. He did. He said that, right? I have a plan for him also. But he is not the one that'll carry on the name, right? Did that mean that Ishmael was cursed? No, absolutely not. God said, I have a plan for him. I will grow him. I will multiply him. I will prosper him. He will be a father of nations as well.
He was also a father of 12 nations.
Huh?
He was the father of 12 nations.
Yes, correct. Yeah, he had the same 12 sons and the father of nations, and now those 12 sons and these 12 sons. Any rivalry there? Just a little bit, right? Just a little bit. All right. But Isaac seems to take it a step further, right? So Abraham had this heart for Ishmael because it's his son, but Isaac seems to take it one step further. There's actually this kind of favoritism at this point. And one child is favored more than the other, which produces all kinds of fun sibling dynamics, right? And all kinds of fun family dynamics. And I mean, anyone can look at families today and see how that stuff gets twisted and manipulated. And as a counselor, I'm sure like you see all this fun stuff, right?
Like Rebecca can say, get rid of Esau.
Right. Correct. That's your kid too, right? Yeah. This has the recipe of all a fairy tale ending, right? This is just the ideal family situation. Just perfect examples of God's love and goodness. We're not told why Rebecca loved Jacob more? What's your thoughts?
Because she was told when they were wrestling dinner.
So that was my first thought. That very, very much so, right? She knows.
He was more of a homebody,
Yeah. Okay.
like Mama.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Mama's boy.
Sure. Mama's boy. All right. Yeah. I think spent more time. Could be some other family dynamics as I was thinking about that question of if dad favors one, would it kind of be natural for her to compensate? That's a great word. To compensate. Yeah, lots of fun stuff going on here. Yeah, maybe she's making up for Isaac's lack, right? But she does know that, right? She prayed to God, and God gave her the poem, right? He sang her a song, and said the older will serve the younger, and she knows that. And we're not told actually who she told. Does Isaac know this? We would assume. Did they tell the boys this? Like, is this being like used as weapons now? Like, oh, you serve your brother. Tell that to a 4-year-old and a couple 4-year-olds, couple 7-year-olds.
I think that set tradition a little bit for future, because we see again and again where you think everything goes to the older,
Right.
but the younger is the one that ends up being
Elevated.
more responsible or elevated than the older one.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting how these dynamics happen, and but everything so far tells us that Esau is the powerful one, right? He's the skilled hunter, meat in my mouth. He could grow a beard since he was born. Like, just think about that. Like, this is the dude, right? When you come out of the womb with a beard, like that's
It seems like Jacob was more of a thinker
okay.
and
Yes.
wiser, where
Yes.
he's just like in the moment, not planning ahead.
So good.
And
After I've studied this, it's hard for me not to read Esau's line with like a caveman accent. I'm serious. Like, that is what comes through. It's almost this animal mentality. Like, ooh, meat good, have some stew. Yeah, soup, right? Yeah. But he even had a smell about him. We'll see that in the next chapter. Like, he came close to Isaac, and he just, they had to make this. He had this ode to hunter, ode to manly, right? Like, he smells like dead animals. It's just something about it says like, yeah, this guy's He's our manly man. Um, this is, just it reminds me of the Gibborim, the name that preceded him. Esau's own smell preceded him, right? Uh, yeah, he just smelled like outdoors and chopped wood and slaughtered animals. I didn't make this up. Huh? Yeah. And then Jacob, he sits at home and cooks. But you're right, he's a thinker, isn't he? He's quick. He's real quick. But then we saw that in the verse 3, right? Here's this powerful, the mighty. He can go probably, slay lions with his bare hands. And yet, did God choose the powerful? He didn't. He didn't. Chosenness doesn't always rest on the likeliest candidates. Where did Nimrod? What line was Nimrod from? Anyone remember that? Come on, Logan, help me out. He was actually from Ham. So Noah, 3 sons. Shem was the line. Shem, Ham, and Japhet. And we know about Ham, don't we? He did some stuff that we don't want to talk about anymore because that's rough. So Nimrod comes from that line, that hunter line, that animal slayer. All right, so we got these 2 boys. We got fun family dynamics. We got parents that favor certain kids. We've got, I love one kid more than the other because what he can do for me. So yeah, let's see where this goes. Someone read 29 again.
When Jacob was cooking stew, Esau came in from the field and he was exhausted.
You know what? Let's just read that whole passage again. Go to all the way to 34.
And Esau said to Jacob, "Let me eat some of that red stew, for I am exhausted." Therefore his name was called Edom. Jacob said, "Sell me your birthright now." Esau said, "I am about to die. Of what use is my birthright to me?" Jacob said, "Swear to me now." So he swore to him and sold his birthright to Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and lentil stew, and he ate and drank and rose and went on his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright.
He was clueless.
Yeah. All right. Jacob's at home doing what he does. It's hard dragging dead animals around all day, right? That's hard work. Field dressing and doing all the stuff manly dudes do, right? And he said, I love the translation here. "Please let me swallow that red stuff." That's kind of how it translates. And some of the manuscripts I saw was Adam. Please let me swallow some of that red bread. Some fun stuff going on. Give me some of that red stuff. And then we see parentheses, so we're given some backstory. Dear reader, this is why he was called Edom, which is red. This is why he's called red. So we were told that when he was born, right? And now he wants some of this red stuff. So Jacob is reading the situation here of him coming in famished, and what are some possible responses that Jacob could have done?
Here you go, brother.
Right. Hey, here's some food. You're hungry. Yeah. What else?
Make your own.
Make your own. This could be a teaching moment. Hey,
You should plan
ahead. You've been out with food all day.
Where's your jerky?
Yeah, where's your jerky? Plan ahead. Be smart about this. And or option three, why don't you just milk this for all you can get out of it?
Sign here first.
Sign. Oh, that's good, Louis. That's good. Do I have a deal for you? That's what Jacob tells me. Do I have a deal for you? This is like greasy car salesman, right? It was like infomercial Billy. What was that guy's name? Billy Blanks or the ShamWow. Yeah. Do I have a deal for you? Call now, and I'll throw. Like this has got sleazy car salesman all over it, right? Quick, let me have some of that red stew. I'm famished. Jacob replied, but first, right? Sell me that birthright. You think this idea just magically popped into Jacob's head just now? Oh,
All payments and things maybe.
okay. Just happened to have the birthright paperwork all ready to go in his pocket. Ah, okay. So, like, as quick a think. I mean, he's a quick thinker. We're gonna see that over and over, Jacob. He's quick, man. But it sounds like there's some little bit of preparation that was, gone into this. Some planning.
Put a bunch of target there, he just kind of. Threw it all in.
To die.
Yeah.
You have to feed me every day for 30 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
One day.
Phew. I'm going to die. What good is a birthright to a dead man? What's the only thing Esau can see right now? Food. He's hunger. It's that immediate desire right in front of him. Like, what do we think about when we think of this? His response here: instant gratification, impulsive. Huh? Oh yeah, okay. We're seeing that. We're seeing that too, right? That what looks good at the moment, take it, and don't worry about the consequences. Ruled by the flesh, right? What is most immediate? It's almost an animal-like quality that Esau has, right? It's just driven by instinct and just what's my immediate need in front of me right now. It's a reaction, right? Exactly.
I see man's deceitful nature.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
When Jacob takes advantage
Yeah.
of that nature.
exactly. Exactly. Jacob sees, hey, I can manipulate here. I can use his. If Jacob, do you think Jacob knows this about his brother? That he has no like willpower and
Probably.
yeah, absolutely. He knows this. He's grown up with him. Huh? Yes, he's reaching out and taking. Oh, that's good.
Why to be the leader?
Yeah, mom told me. I'm special, right?
I like study, I was back to my study guide. And it says, and that's actually coming out of Hebrews 12:16. But the study guide says, some people like Esau are controlled by their appetites.
Mm.
And then it continues on, their tolerance for sexual immortality and sin defiles and consumes them. For them, nothing is sacred. They unrepentantly exchange God's gift of righteousness for the gratification of theirs.
That's good. It's real good. Yeah. So Esau thinking with his stomach, right? The only thing you think he's that hungry? Like, could you possibly be that famished? But everything's right now. Jacob, all right, but we need to make this official first. Yeah. Just sign this covenantal oath contract that I just happen to have in my pocket. Written up for just the time as this, right? Just sign on the dotted line and all your needs will be met.
For this one bowl.
For this one bowl of soup. Swear an oath to me. Swear this binding agreement what is the most valuable thing that Esau owns? His birthright. His birth. It's the double portion of a family that's doing all right, right? Has been blessed and multiplied in their flocks, and the double portion is a big deal. Was that part of the poem? The older will give up his birthright to the younger. No, it wasn't, was it? Calling and chosen had nothing to do with what you get.
You know, we obviously weren't here in the last week or two, but
Right.
I'm thinking about Isaac and Rebecca
Yes.
too. There's a little bit of, you know, I think they got this from dad a little bit too.
Yeah.
Some of the
Oh, yeah.
treachery or
Yeah.
trickery.
Yeah. Isaac and Rebecca, we see this with how about Abraham and Sarah, right?
Yeah.
How many times did they manipulate and twist and right? So generational things being handed down here, right, Keith? Yeah. It's good enough for mom and dad. Good enough for us, right? Mm.
Well, they started out good. You're
Yeah.
raised with those ethics.
Yes. Yeah.
Good thing that kind of thing doesn't happen today. Huh?
Right. Right. So he traded the most valuable thing he had for what? What kind of soup? Is there even any meat in this soup
No.
from the meat maker? What's in this soup? Just some bean soup. Give me some of that red bean soup, right? So he eats his red bean soup, and how's he feeling now? Is he sated? Is he fat and happy? Is all his dreams that he had, are they met? Huh? For the moment.
Second, and then he realized what he gave.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that initial urge is met, now what's he thinking?
Whatever animosity was between them before.
Yes.
Is
Okay.
compounded.
Compounded. I think exponentially compounded right now. There was this back and forth. Now there's some physical stuff.
I don't think he valued his position.
You're right. You're right. I wonder if that's just people telling him your brother's more important. We don't know. We don't know what's being said, but like.
He didn't have to fight for anything.
Mm-hmm.
He just was.
Right.
So sometimes in that, you take it for granted.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Look at the prodigal son, right? Just living it up, and then you look around one day and you're like, what happened? What did I trade for what? These appetites, these desires, and then you find yourself empty. And now I think Esau's having some of these same thoughts here. So we have the rivalry passage and then the stew narrative, right? And these things are kind of put back to back. And, what's Esau's main motivator? His gut. What was his dad's main motivator? His gut. His food, right? Yeah. Yeah. What's in my belly, right? He's willing to give up his firstborn right for a meal. It's just this idea of giving into these animal desires. So as we think about Jacob and just kind of what we've learned about him so far, I'm going to come back to how he's described here. This word tam, quiet, peaceful, content. This word is the root word of where we get tamim. That's the lamb without blemish, right? That's when we get to sacrificial laws. That's the animal that's not missing a leg or doesn't have any scars or has all his appendages, like it's means to be whole or complete. And that's this root word. And so as we look at these through scripture, in Job 1:1, same word, it says, there was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was blameless, upright, fearing God, and turning away from evil. Psalm 37:37. Mark the blameless man, and behold the upright, for the man of peace will have a posterity. Proverbs 29:10, men of bloodshed hate the blameless, but the upright are concerned for his life. So we get the idea. Oh, Noah. These are the records of the generations of Noah. Noah was a righteous man, blameless in his time. Blameless. Noah walked with God. So there's this idea of being tam is to be whole and complete. For those in Wednesday night Bible study, right, we talked about teleos last week, and it has those same kind of connections of wholeness and completeness and maturity in their walk with God. So we have a puzzle here, and I think it's a genuine riddle here. The man described as morally upright, this whole man, as we started, this whole man, what's the first story they tell about him? This word that means morally upright. What do we learn in this first story? He deceived his brother. Is that morally upright? No. No. And so the question, like, what are we supposed to do with that? How do we reconcile this? That the ones that were called to be the light bearers, the image bearers, aren't bearing the image. Huh? They're still human, right? They still have to make that choice. They cannot do it on their own. And then
When they're wrong themselves, is when they do the wrong thing.
yeah,
But God knows.
exactly. And God continues to use it. Let me throw one more thing at you. We don't actually get this bit of information till Genesis 27, but let's go read it just in the way that Jacob describes. This is in the account when they're trying to deceive Isaac for the blessing. 27:11. Someone read that.
Jacob said to Rebekah and his mother, but my brother Esau is a hairy man, while I have smooth skin.
Okay. My brother's hairy, but I am smooth. The literal translation, my brother is a man of hair, but I am a man of smoothness. They think there's some double meanings going on here.
Son of a prayer.
Huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah. My brother's he's the manly man, but I'm a smooth man. The smooth operator. Okay. So the word used as smooth is kalak, and it means smooth or flattering. That actually, so when I went and looked at this word, it's used 3 other times in the Hebrew Bible. So let's go look at these three times. Proverbs 5:3. Here's the other 3 times. For the lips of the adulterous woman drip honey, and her speech is smoother than oil. Proverbs 26:28. A lying tongue hates those it hurts, and a flattering mouth works ruin. Halak. And for there, Ezekiel 12:24. For there will be no more false visions or flattering divinations among the people of Israel. What's it mean to be smooth? Huh? Flattering? Yeah. Deceitful?
Looks like it kind of is attractive.
Okay, so there is some attractiveness to it, right? Right? Got something to sell you. It's real good. Make it look good.
Tells you what you want to hear.
Huh?
He tells you what you want to hear.
Yeah. So who does that? Huh? Jacob? We keep tracing this back. Where is all this coming from? Adam and Eve. It's that slippery serpent, right? He's crafty, right? We're told that. He sees things. He's a quick thinker. right? He sees opportunities to manipulate. He's in it for these long plays. It's not necessarily, right, this instant. He doesn't give up, right? And he keeps, planting these little seeds and in this flattery and okay, right? That's right. That's right. When you go look at that word crafty that describes the snake, that word is used in Proverbs a lot as a good thing. To be quick thinking, to be have all your faculties, to be able to think through problems and discerning and wise as serpents, right? And gentle as doves. Jesus said that. Not a bad thing. It's how we use it, right?
But the doves and a fence feeder are wicked.
Say that again.
The doves
Oh,
that eat at the fence feeder
yeah, there you go.
are wicked.
There you go. There you go. All right. Right. So we have this tam is used to describe him, that wholeness. And now we're seeing this smooth man. That's an odd, it's really not a common phrase at all. It's a pretty odd way to describe someone. Solomon talked about to be tam, to use stones for the temple, they had to be smooth. They couldn't be like rough cut. They had to be smooth. And so I think these two ideas are being kind of played against each other of what it means to be whole, but what it means to choose for ourselves, right? Are we choosing for our own desires? There's some kind of double meaning here. Because, yeah, I mean, he's smart, he's quick, he's a thinker.
Just popped into my head that he's doing exactly what Abraham and Sarah did.
Yes,
He's not waiting
yes.
for God to.
Come on. That's it. That's it. That's good. Is God going to bless Jacob? It's clear that God's going to bless him. Did he need to do this? Did he need to try to bring the blessing on himself? He's going to do that again in probably a couple of weeks. We're going to see that again, right?
And he's smart and has no common sense.
So his brother chooses by his appetites, but so does Jacob. He just does it in a different way, right? It's kind of how I see it. It's his brother's all about his gut and that thing that's right before him, but he's looking at birthrights. He's looking at big picture things. He's moving and shaking to get his desires, right? They're doing the same thing. They just, he's a quick thinker and, he has a bumbling oaf of a brother that, they just, their hearts are after different things, but they're both after things that aren't of God's purpose. Huh? Yeah. Okay. We've heard that before, right? We know God is going to make us into a great nation, Abraham and Sarah. We need to make this happen. How'd that work out? What happened?
Raise the nation against.
Raise the nation against them. What happens when he hears the prophecy? He knows that God is going to bless me, but you know what? Let me go ahead and let's do it now instead of waiting. Let's just reach out and take what God would have given us. Remember, that was the thing. They reached out, Adam and Eve reached out to take the apple so that they would have wisdom. And yet they walked with the God of the universe who could have gave them wisdom every day.
Oh, you're not listening to what God's saying.
Right. It's right in front of me. My brother's made this real easy. This must be God, right? Because that's how God works. He just makes it easy for us.
Fosters a deeper animosity.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I'm wondering if Easton was the one to get his birthright because he had been told for so long that he was gonna serve his brother. So he's like, we're gonna have it anyway, just give me food.
I think you're right. As I read this, I'm with you there. How much mind impacts has he had over the years growing up that this has been spoken over his life? And what do you think that does to him?
Let's get it over with.
Yeah. Starts tearing him down where he starts questioning his own value and his own worth. And hmm,
Well,
Yeah.
being a hunter, he has a lot of time in his own head.
yeah. Yeah.
That seed's been planted.
Yeah.
It's got time to think of.
Jacob, man, he's a quick thinker, but he doesn't use it very well, does it? Is he using it to bless people? Right? That was the call of this family to bless those around. Is he blessing? No? Huh? Yeah. He's manipulating, deceiving. Here's the heel striker, the heel grabber.
And again, it goes back to what the world sees as power
Mhm.
and what God sees.
That's right. If Jacob looks at his brother and he says, "Oh man, he's the strongest. He's the powerful. He's the manly man. What can I do to make myself more powerful than him?" Is Jacob going to beat him in an arm wrestling match? Is he going to, go one-on-one, fight to the death martial arts with him? No, he's not. So he's saying, I have to beat him with my mind. And now we have these rivalries. You think this rivalry's over? No. All right, so let's just track this back as we wrap up here. We have here an Edom. So Edom is this red stew, ADOM. And it's the same basic letters as something else. This guy named Adam, the Edom and the Adam. One meaning humanity, one meaning the word red. But if you look at the letters together, I mean, they're they got Caden could tell us what all the little signs are off them. But you look and it's the same basic structure of the word between this Edom and the Adam from Edom. And we have here an Edom, the red, willing to give up his firstborn right for a meal because of a deceiver. What did Adam give up in the garden for a meal? His life. His firstborn rights as a ruler, to rule in the garden, right? And who's the manipulator in all this? Satan, right? The blessing in both stories is the prize, right? The blessing of Eden, the blessing of being able to stand in God's presence and to rule. And it's being traded for what? Food.
Of a sinless life.
Yeah. A sinless life without separation from God, right? And he gave it all up for a bite. He reached out and he took it, right? That's the image. Did Jacob need to manipulate his way into being the chosen? He was already chosen, right? Yeah. He operates if God hasn't already given him the blessing. He takes it on his own timing. And that was the last question, but we already really talked about why did Esau despise his birthright? I think, Melina, you're all over it. It's just, at this point, it's worthless to him. It's meaningless to him.
You don't see it, but you can almost hear from Adam and Eve, the serpent in there. This is your chance. Deal with this birthright.
Yes.
Like, what is your birthright?
Yeah.
Talking to both of them.
Yeah. He's working in this whole situation, isn't he? And nobody's the wiser to say, get thee behind me, Satan, right? To hear what's being happening. And mom and dad's not helping, are they? No, they're compounding. The story's ripe for the deceiver to move.
I just think this still goes all back to Isaac, because in 26, you see a lot of deceitfulness from
Yeah.
Isaac.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't end.
It doesn't end, does it?
Doesn't end.
Generations. And then how about his boys? How about Jacob's boys? They're model citizens, right? Huh? Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of people want to sell baby brothers.
What do you think? There was a time. There was a time. Let me end this verse. Colossians 1:15. Paul's describing Jesus. He says, he is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of all creation. When we think of the firstborn of creation, who do we think of? In Genesis, who do we think of? Adam, right? Adam. Who was the image bearer in Genesis? The initial image bearer was Adam, right? But Paul's not talking about Adam, is he? How come? Because right. Yeah. He didn't live out the image as he was supposed to. And yet we serve one who does, who is the image, who did exactly what he needed to do, who came upon these kind of same situations. You think Jesus could have made some awesome deals, and there's this temptation narrative, right? He could have done all sorts of good for himself, right? But he was sinless, and he took these opportunities to bring life, not to take life away. And that's what we see. He becomes the firstborn of all creation, right? Jesus was there from the beginning. We saw that. This is not a Johnny come lately, and that's how Paul describes him. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Let's pray. Lord God, we thank you for this morning. We thank you for these conversations in these discussions, Lord. But as we discuss these, we find ourselves in these same situations. We find ourselves in opportunities every day where we can use the gifts you have given us. We can use the thinking and the quickness. We can use them to bless, or we can use those to deceive. We can build up, or we can tear down. We can be seeds of you and bear your image, or we can bear the image of that snake. Who are we going to be? How are we going to respond? How will our conversations be played out every day? Are we angling for our appetites, for what makes us feel good? Or are we looking to your wholeness, your goodness, your purity, your moral uprightness? Lord, make us into your image. Transform us and move us each and every day, that we would reflect you in the best ways. That we would see the opportunities as they are when they're not of you. And may we choose the right. Lord, I thank you for this time. I thank you for each and every person in here. And we pray this in your name. Amen.